Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you for coming out in the rain today and the cold and or both. For those of you who are standing near the wall, there are plenty of seats up front. If you feel you want to sit down, they're available for you. So you might want to take advantage of that. But we will now open our meeting. This is session 1.0, and call this meeting to order. And Mr. Simpson, can we get you to lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. I guess I was waiting for you to come to the podium, but you did a good job. Thank you. Next, we have the adoption of the agenda. Let's vote. At this time, we have 4 members present. 3, I'm sure, are on their way. Session 2.0, this is the public comments time. This is the time that members of the public will be provided an opportunity to directly address the board about the item that's described in this agenda. You will be given a total of 30 minutes, so strongly recommend that you don't repeat what someone else has said. We will give you our utmost attention, and I assure you we will be listening. So if you will watch the clock, and again, you will have a total of 30 minutes. And after that, we will go into closed session. Thank you.
And as you do approach the podium, please take a few minutes to organize yourselves. We have, I'll read off the names of those that filled out a blue card and anybody else who wishes to speak, and then we'll have you organize yourselves how you'd like to speak in order. Paul Phillips, Steve Parker, John Simpson, Kenny Wilson, Jose Espino, John Longo, Carol Walker, Jenny Peterson, Megan Richardson. So please just feel free to organize yourselves and come on up, and the board will allow 30 minutes of comments on this topic for closed sessions discussion tonight. And welcome, everybody. Ready to roll? All right. And then thank you very much.
Board of Education, thank you very much for calling this special meeting. We've sent emails and communication out to each board member. We've heard from some of you back, some have had questions. The purpose of tonight, CSEA, as you know, has been negotiating for the last 10 months with the district. Struggling at times at the table, had been overall pretty respectful. Have to commend the team that's at the table for the district. We recently, I forget, it's Thursday, the district made a proposal for us on wages. The only outstanding issue was wages and compensation. We'd been going back and forth. Again, it had taken us 10 months to get to where the other units have been months ago. We finally got there, got to a proposal that we thought we could accept, and then we offered a counter proposal to the district team. The district, and our counter proposal was a mirror of what the district proposal was. There was a couple of items that were cleaning up language to capture the process as it currently exists and has existed in the past, just clarifying language. The financial aspects of it were exactly the same as what the district proposed to us. The district has consistently let us know that without CSEA waiving its statutory right to adjudicate the unfair practice charge regarding equity, that they would not enter into an agreement with us. We've had a number of conversations highlighting the fact that that act itself is another unfair labor practice charge and serves to frustrate the process at least. So our proposal consistently has been without the unfair labor practice, or with the unfair labor practice charge to be adjudicated independently. Admittedly, months ago, we did make a couple of offers that would solve the unfair labor practice charge, but the district couldn't meet the terms that we were looking at. So over the last 5 or 6 sessions, we have withdrawn our attempts at resolving the collective bargaining agreement and the unfair practice at the same time. We're very interested in solving the unfair practice independently, and we're very interested in coming up to a settlement agreement on that. We do realize that if the wheels come off, we do have the backstop of the PERB to render a final decision on that, but we're fully confident that if we were able to sit down and talk about some creative ideas, we can get past the unfair practice charge. Tying that to our contract right now is wrong, disrespectful, and illegal. We expect the district, we expect the board to direct the district negotiating team to come back to the table and honor the proposal that you made. They made these proposals on your behalf. So we expect you to honor the terms that you set for us. We agreed to them, and then to have the district come back and say, oh, wait, we've got to rerun some numbers. We need to look at 2 years now, into the future, into the past. That one's still some confusion, but the financial impact is exactly what the district proposed to us, and that's what we agreed to. We have a session set for tomorrow. We're interested in resolving the unfair practice charge, but at this point, that conversation can't happen until after we have a collective bargaining agreement in place. You have 2,271 classified in this district that give their life's blood and soul to serve the children here, and right now we are feeling like we are completely and actively disrespected. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. And again, we had a couple folks come in a little bit later. If you filled out a blue slip and you're on this topic, please coordinate yourselves so you can speak. You have a 30-minute window, about 26 minutes. Let's welcome, please. Anybody that wants to speak on this topic, the board is prepared to listen.
Good evening, board members. My name is Jose Espino.
Good evening.
I'm also part of the negotiating team. It's been a frustration for the last 10 months, especially for all of our classified. They're ready to settle, and please, let's make hope happen on this, because we want to make this district one of the districts that has the best hiring, the best wages for our classified. So let's make hope happen, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Espino.
Okay, a little short here. Good evening, members of the board. I would like to tell you that you have very strong people here. These are your backbones. We are the ones, we are here, we're there with your children. We shake their hands. We teach them please and thank you. We're picking up the trash. The secretaries are taking the phone calls. The health aides are the ones cleaning up after the kids that are sick and throwing up. We want you to know, we need you to honor your deal. It was a fair deal, and it shouldn't have taken even this long. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening to the board. My name is Megan Richardson. I'm a 28-year employee of the district. I have found that pretty much over those 28 years, you have treated us fairly as far as contract goes. So I'm really kind of disappointed that we are not getting the same shake as certificated in managers. And that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. Appreciate you coming out tonight, Ms. Richardson. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carol Walker, and I work at San Bernardino High School.
Good evening, Ms. Walker.
While it is true that we need our jobs, it is also true that the district needs our services as well. It puzzles me how the district can justify wage increases to credentialed staff as well as themselves, management, but refuse to acknowledge that those of us who play a vital role in the day-to-day operations of their schools deserve to also be fairly compensated. Not only is this thought process absurd, but in itself is an oxymoron. Bottom line is, you cannot run your schools without us. We are as valuable to you as any one of your other employees. It's past time for the district to do the right, step up and do right by its classified employees. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walker.
My name is Alfred Gutierrez. I'm a welder at M&O, and I just have a few little words. It says, "We the people and liberty and justice." Do you call this justice when we have to come over here and you guys pull back on the contract? I mean, we work very hard. I got injured, and I've been here 13 years, and I'm still over there right now. And I can't even use this, but you guys sit there and don't look at us as equals. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name's Steve Parker, M&O. I just find it hard to believe that all the other bargaining units got 4.5%, and tonight we find ourselves having to fight for it. Hopefully tomorrow, we'll put this to rest and settle this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Hello, my name is Paul Phillips. I'm a painter for San Bernardino School District. I love my job here. It's an amazing place to work. In all honesty, I've been working here for a little bit less than 2 years. I truly enjoy it. I got the pin and Making Hope Happen. You guys have put that forward, and it's been a big push in our paint shop, I know directly. And one of the things of making hope happen, you have to do it from a happy place. One of the things about working here, I see that I'm happy, I enjoy it, but there is a possibility I can always become unhappy. And one of the things that does that is when we see that other people get treated differently, with more advantages or more fairness. I just wanted to read a quick study from the Harvard it's the Harvard Business Institution. They wrote that recently published an analysis of various studies that showed an average of 31% more productivity and 37% higher sales when employees are happy or satisfied. And I can promise you, as in classified employees are more satisfied, we feel like we're being appreciated, and let's be honest, we're working. One of the compensations is financial. And as we get that, we feel like we're being appreciated, quite frankly. And as we do that, we feel that we're appreciated. I can promise you we can make hope happen a lot easier, a lot better. It's hard to do that from a sad point. I came from a previous job where I quit and I looked for another position, frankly, because I opened 3 stores for a man. He didn't compensate me at all. I was happy with my employment. I loved my work, but eventually I became sad and it was hard for me to continue with that employment. I can promise you, as we continue forward and as we become compensated and we get treated fairly, we can continue to make hope happen the way that you desire as well as we desire. This city needs that hope. We see San Bernardino. I've heard Marsden. You've talked very often that this organization, this institution, is the strongest and happiest thing for this community. And it will continue to do so, and I hope so. I just hope that you would push forward for us in helping us and returning us to that happy state by increasing our wages or compensating us in the way that we need to be compensated. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips.
Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
I appreciate you giving me an opportunity, and of course, all of us, an opportunity to come and talk to you with you. I'm actually on the negotiation committee, and yeah, a little bit frustrated. I was here back on October 4th, explaining a few things, basically on the same level. Comes down to wages. We've been doing wages for at least 6 months. Things get sticky. I understand that, but when you get into a meeting and you have a negotiations team on the district side say that we don't have the decision makers here. That's frustrating. I mean, I pull out my phone and I tell everybody there at the table that everybody knows when the negotiations is going on. And I said, well, if that's so, why aren't the decision makers here? And there was no reply. Extremely frustrating. Another question was if we have, I lost train of thought, but we have, since the decision makers weren't there, I also asked, are they going to be there Tuesday, which is tomorrow? And there was a reply saying that, yes, there was going to be decision makers there. Whoever the decision makers are, I don't know if there's decision makers here in this room, but it would certainly be nice to see them in negotiations to show up to get things rolling. But from my standpoint, it doesn't look like the district is really wanting to put and commit. And again, that's more frustration because you got to put things in perspective. You got to come forward eventually. I mean, I think we've been far patient. We've been going for some time, like I said. I just want the district to commit to what they say they're going to do. And right now, to be honest with you, it's not happening. It is not happening. Because if it was, we would have been done a long time ago. And there's more frustration of that. I mean, you could see the distortness that I have. I'm portraying to you because, I mean, we have a bunch of people behind me that you guys need to make hope happen, but it states, and you know, Dr. Marsden, we have all your posters all over the district. If you want to make hope happen, you got to start now. And we just want the district to do what they say they're going to do. And it was a little repetitive there, but it's been repetitive for 6 months. So that's what we've been getting in negotiations. You need to put your foot forward, and we all need to get with the program. It can't be the funds because the funding is there. I mean, we've all looked at the numbers. The funding is there. So I think it's time to make the hope happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Cunningham, can you stop the clock? We don't want to use their time, and Mr. Tillman needs to say something now.
Yeah, I think it's important that we're all on the same page. You know, the problem with negotiation is normally the board gives direction to the staff, and the staff meets with the representative of the unions, and they go in the room and they negotiate, and the employees don't know what for sure their representatives are saying, and the board doesn't know for sure what our staff is saying. So I just wanted to tell you from my perspective where we're at. I got a ton of emails today saying that they've been offered no pay raises, that other people have settled and haven't been given any money. And it's frustrating to me because I know what we've done. Last year, around the same time we settled with everybody else, we offered the same 4.5% to CSCA. You get your chance to talk at the microphone. You don't have to yell. Thank you. We offer the same, and this is my perspective, that we'll start the discussion here. We offer the same 4.5% that we offer to the teachers and everybody else. It ended up that cost was more than, what we gave the teachers was more than just the 4.5%. So we said whatever the total amount was, we'll make sure we offer the same thing to the classified employees. And that's what we did. Now, on the other hand, there's something totally separate from the negotiations. They said to us, after we gave everybody the same amount of raise, it was the communication workers who settled late. When we gave them their pay raise to bring them up to where the amount of money you guys had gotten and the teachers had gotten already, at that point, somebody from one of your union people said, oh, we had a Me Too clause, so even aside from the amount of money you guys are negotiating, you have to give us this 7% that you gave the substitutes. So not only do we want the 4.5%, we're going to go to court and tell you to give us another 7%. So then that's an additional $4 or $5 million we have to consider. And none of your emails was that discussed. But that's the reality we have to deal with. And let me say this. If this board makes a decision, overcommits itself, and gives out too much money, no one's going to say the board gave too much money because they wanted to make sure that the classified employees had a whole bunch of money, and it's too bad we went bankrupt because they thought about it so much. That's never going to happen. I'll lower it down, but okay, that's all right. What? And let me say this to you. I'm a human being. I'm frustrated. You guys are going to raise your voice a whole lot tonight. That's the reality of it. All I want to do is make sure we're on the same page, and let's be fair about it. But I tell you this, from this board's perspective, last year we started offering the 4.5%. And this board values the work of classified employees. I'm from this community. There's no way I want to do something bad to classified employees. So that's frustrating to me.
Okay.
I'm just being real.
Mr. Tillman,
I'm finished. This is my last.
if you're
my
finished,
last
so
sentence.
that they can finish.
This is my last sentence. So, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page, and that's where we can start the discussion. Thank you. That's the problem. Thank you.
Okay, for CSEA, you still have almost 16 minutes, so if you could come back, really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Tillman. And for those of you who are in the audience and you feel a need, you still have 15 minutes and 41 seconds. Thank you.
Dr. Hill, I've already addressed the board, but I would like to respectfully address some of Mr. Tillman's comments, if that's all right. Okay. So, Mr. Tillman, I understand being on the same page is very important, and it's one of the confusions that we've been dealing with, because what we're hearing from our board members and what we're hearing from the district representatives are not always the same. You understand that when the teachers in the other units were offered 4.5%, classified was offered 4.5%. That, in fact, is not true. We were offered 2%. We had to fight the first time. I see, and respectfully, sir, I see you rolling your eyes. We actually have negotiation minutes, notes, and proposals to back that up. We're not here to bankrupt the district. This district is far from bankrupt.
So you've never been offered 4.5%?
Yes, we finally got offered 4.5%, but your statement was when the teachers were offered 4.5%, we were offered 4.5%. That is patently false. We did not get offered 4.5% till late last year was the first time 4.5%. We had to fight to get that. You talk about the unfair labor practice charge. You weren't here at the beginning when we first started talking about it. Yes, the unfair labor practice charge exists. It has a potential of 7%. We have expressed to the district a number of times we're willing to get very creative and resolve that unfair labor practice charge. What we're hearing from the district representatives is that the board is willing to commit another unfair labor practice by conditioning our agreement on withdrawal of the unfair labor practice charge. That in itself is an unfair charge. And I'm sure when you're in closed session, you can get counsel on that. But what your representatives are telling us is that this board will not enter into a contract unless we withdraw the unfair labor practice charge. That in itself is an unfair practice charge. We're not here to do war. We're not here to cause problems. We're here to get what we believe is equity. We also believe that when the communication workers got what we believe to be the 7%, we understand that that unit is very small compared to our unit, and that the financial impact is very small. Had the district representatives at that time come to CSEA and said, hey, we need to do this and this is why, can we work something out? We have a tradition of working with the district. Even when we get to our 4.5% that the district offered us, which is what's at issue today, is the district backing up on an offer they made in good faith, we thought in good faith at the table. That's where we're at conflict today. Even when we get to that, point to another unit that has suffered the abolishments and the losses that classified employees currently operate with. That's where we're at today. We truly do want to resolve our contract dispute, And we truly do want to get very creative in resolving the unfair labor practice charge. The two are not tied together. And if the district insists on tying those together, the net effect is we file another unfair practice charge, and these hardworking citizens are stuck waiting for their raise while two charges are adjudicated. Thank you.
Mr. Wilson.
Karen, will you stop the clock again? Ms. Cunningham, I'm sorry. Would
Mr.
you
Wilson?
stop the clock again? so
Mr.
that-
Wilson, I would like to ask you a clarifying question. While he's coming up here, I just want you to know that you're very valued. We know you're the backbone. Yeah, we know that you're the backbone. And we know that we appreciate you. If without you, our kids and teachers and everybody it wouldn't function. And we know that. I come from a working class family, and I treasure each one of you. Each one of you. You deserve equity. You deserve equity. I want to ask you what you gave us. This is what you negotiated with our negotiation team.
Yes, on the left side of the page was the district's proposal. The right side was CSEA's counter proposal. You'll see financially they're exactly the same, and you'll see in the notes in there in each column. All we did was capture what the practice is now with the longevity pieces.
Okay. And so this is what you agreed that we offered, that our district
Yes.
offered.
Yes.
And then tell us what happened when you proposed that you would accept this.
The district went into caucus, normal, standard procedure. They went into caucus after they came back from caucus. We have one other issue on the table. It's a safety article that we had sunshined, but it's not terribly relevant to where we're doing right now. There were some questions about that. But on the financial piece, they came back and said, we're still not real clear on what the conversation is about. Now they need to look at 2 years at zero salary increase, and they need to redo the budget because the current interim is coming up and the budget is changing.
Okay, so that's what they told you?
Yes.
But you accepted what was proposed?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I needed that as a clarification, just so that we're clear
Sure.
about what you all accepted. Okay, thank you.
All right, you still have 12 minutes, CSEA. Are there any other additional comments?
Mr. Simpson, welcome.
Good afternoon. My voice is a little mess.
Good afternoon.
As you know, I'm the new president, and I've only been in the negotiations 2 months now, and I've had a whole lot of catching up to do. And on our last meeting, I was pretty happy that we were going to finish it until we got that thing and said, we have to check the numbers. And I'm trying to figure out, you made the offer. You made the offer. What numbers do you have to check? And when we left, we were all kind of dismayed at what happened. We just trying to figure out what's going on. Were you not ready? Were they not ready to get our acceptance of what they proposed? I'm hopeful that we can get this done rather quickly so we can get our people paid and get some money in people's pockets and get past this stage of life right now. That's what I would like to see. Just let's get this done. Let's move on, and let's move on to bigger and better things. I think we got a lot of bigger and better things to do here. We're here to help you get there. You're here to help us get there. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson.
Hi, me again. I just wanted to make sure I clarify our position too. On the left side where it says district proposal, the second highlighted section says in the spirit of collaboration. That's language that the district wants to use for CSEA to waive its right to adjudicate the unfair labor practice charge. That part we have not agreed to. That part, that's the the big piece right now. We would not agree to that at this point. We have made offers in the past which would motivate us to do that. For one of the offers we made, for example, was an increase in salary steps. And for that, we would have withdrawn the unfair labor practice charge. But at the last few negotiation sessions for CSEA, that has not been an option. And honestly, I don't see it being an option moving forward, especially with the proposal that's on the table.
Thank you.
Dr. Hill, I'd like to ask Mr. Wilson.
Well, I need to stop the clock first, so we don't use their time. And first is Ms. Medina. You can wait.
I just wanted for you to repeat what the unfair labor practice is.
The unfair labor practice charge claims that the district violated the negotiated equity clause that says, in a nutshell, if another unit experiences a higher salary or a higher wage increase than CSEA did, then that money would automatically, or that percentage would automatically be applied to the CSEA salary schedule.
Okay. And you're willing to negotiate that?
Independently of the contract,
Independently?
yes.
Okay.
We're not only willing, but we're interested in negotiating that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you still have a question?
Yeah, well, my thing is more of a comment. My husband's a maintenance worker at the county, and so we're families just like yours, and we know how it feels when you're on limited budget and trying to make ends meet and then still trying to support your family. And it has not always been easy for us. Now, for me, I've always believed equal is not necessarily equitable. And if you remember my first year as being a school board member, we were able to increase an additional % compared to the others. And that was a push because of the reasons why equal is not necessarily equitable. And when you look at the Me Too clause, I've never really understood that because it's like I said, it's not equitable. My husband would get maybe a 50 cents to $1 compared to those that were earning 100 or 200,000, which is very different. And so that's why I completely understand that there's a need. And so we're going to definitely work to ensure that we are equitable with you guys as well. And I know that us as the board members do understand, at least me personally and my family do believe that our classified workers deserve what's right. So thank you for coming over, and I thank you for everyone that's here today.
Thank you, and we look forward to tomorrow morning.
Thank you. You still have 9 minutes, a little over 9.5 minutes.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Vigan Nicole. I work at HVAC shop, air conditioning for MNO. I've been here for 9 years. And I'm here because they said that there's negotiation. The contract is kind of you guys backing up from it. And I just want to say I've been here for 9 years. My shop is always works half capacity, like to provide you guys here in air conditioning, because I know the management and the schools, the teachers, they cannot work if the heater is not on or the air conditioner is not on. You guys file right away a grievance. That's what they run into. So I feel like the school always catered for the teachers and the management, not the backbone that the people that they work for and provide everything for you guys, for the teachers. Because every time you guys hide behind the students, behind the kids, they said, oh, it's the students, it's the kids, we have to provide for them. And that's what they hide behind. And we have to run around and do all the work for you guys to keep you guys happy and comfortable. So it's been going on for a long time. It looks like you guys negotiating for almost a year, and you guys backing down on the negotiation. That's why we're all here today, and myself. And I work for the district. I live in the city. My kids, they go in the same city. My kids, they go to schools here. And my wife, she works for the district. My wife, she always tell me, why don't you go find another job in another district? I tell her, no. This is my city. My kids, they go over here. I want to help my city. I want to create a better environment for my kids and the students. This is how I feel. So I'm here just to support them and tell you guys that I want to take advantage of, we get pushed around a lot. I've been here for 9 years. We get pushed around a lot to do whatever you guys want, whatever the teachers want from our management. And I'm not asking for more, just whatever the negotiation gonna have us get paid equally, like everybody gets. And That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you still have 7.5 minutes?
I've already addressed the board, but I just have one question. I understand budgets, projections, looking to the future, but how can you justify looking to the future when you haven't reconciled the past?
Thank you. Seven minutes left. Well, thank you so much. We heard you. We appreciate your comments.
Dr. Hill?
Mr. Tillman?
You know, our goal, as board members, and it has been for some time, I've been on the board for 22 years. So I was here when we went through pay cuts. I know you guys took cuts. The promise was, as the money came back, we would give more money. If anybody knows anything about the district and the history of the district, you know I understand the district finances. My goal is to always look at the books and find ways to give you guys as much money as possible. That's it. Because I want to keep the best, and I want to be able to recruit the best. And that's what the goal of the board is. So it's frustrating when you know in your heart that you're doing everything you can to ensure that you give the raises, and that's the reality of it. But throughout the negotiation part, we go through this. But I understand, that's why we get elected to the board. And if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. So we're going to take the heat. I can guarantee you, and you've heard tonight, I'm happy tonight that you guys are here so you can hear from the horse's mouth, because I did get about 100 emails that said, you guys are offering us nothing. I knew that wasn't, I was cussing out the screen the whole time, because I know what we've offered, I know what we're going to offer, and I know what our goal is. Tomorrow, and we'll go in closed session and give direction on how we can solve this in the best way possible. But I hope you do, after all this is over, and it'll be proven out, because it doesn't matter what we say, it's the action that we take. And we'll take the right action, and the proof is in the pudding. But I can guarantee you that this board never at any point was trying to do anything to not give you guys that money. From my perspective, I thought it would have been settled a long time ago, but it didn't, and we'll move forward on it. But I just hope you know that even with this, as we move forward, I understand the work that you guys do, and I appreciate the work you do. And not only that, in the back of my mind, I know this. More so than any other class of employees we have in our district, classified employees live within the school district. Your kids go to our schools. I understand the value of that. I haven't forgot the fact that my mother, and Sophia can tell you this, because she probably acts like she don't want to know me right now, but she knows. We went to Airview together, and my mother was a annuity aide. My mom made almost no money, and she worked 2 and 3 hours a day. But that wasn't fun money. That was money she didn't make. The lights didn't get paid. I didn't get shoes. So I understand the value of, however the amount of the increase we're going to give you, what it means to you. Trust me. And so my goal is, and I know it's my fellow board members, whatever we can get, we're going to do it. So I know, and I don't blame, you shouldn't trust politicians, but it's being real. But I can guarantee that. And in the end, you'll see, because we're going to prove it. We'll make the right decisions tonight. But even though I didn't like getting those emails, I want to thank you for your input, and thank you for coming out tonight.
Again, Ms. Medina, and then we're going to go into closed session.
I was going to say, some of us politicians are working-class families, too, so I know that. And we do see the need, and we do respect the work that you're doing. And really, we're not here because of other gains or looking at a special agenda. We're here to help our kids, and we know that you guys offer a special value into that. So thank you.
Thank you so much, and we're going into closed session now, and we will report out.